Hey guys, welcome back to the garage. How are we doing today? I know it's been a long time since I've put out a video. There's been a good reason, is I had to get a different job. So I've taken on a new job, and I haven't been able to do anything for at least a month. And the season's coming up, Halloween and Christmas is my biggest time of the year. So I have these cedar boards I got from somebody. I don't even remember who I got them from. They were already cut, and they had a big chunk of the wood was missing out. So what I did is I took some clear resin and poured it on the back here. I don't know if you can see because the camera's so far away. Filled it, leveled it off, sanded it. So now I have a flat piece of wood. So I thought today I'd take you along as I do one of my welcome friends and family. Normally when I do them, signs are, you know, they're usually at least this big, you know, twice the piece. And probably, you know, close to probably this long, another 10 inches longer. So today I thought I'd do a couple smaller versions, and whenever I do craft fairs and stuff, they sell very quick. That's one of the first things that they sell. So I think I'm going to do a new technique on one. I'm going to take the torch, and I've never done this before ever. So I know it's not the first time it's been done on YouTube. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to torch this, and then once we torch it, I'm not going to burn it bad. I'm just going to torch it a little bit, and then we'll put it on the Carve, and we'll carve it out. And when I'm done, I shouldn't have to do anything to it. It should be engraved, and the burntness will be on it, and all we have to do is just seal it. So stick around. Thanks for hanging out. What we're going to do is we're going to take my Burn-O-Matic little torch, got the automatic lighter here, and we're going to lightly burn this board, and then we're going to take it over to the Carve. I already got the design done, but I'll show it to you how we size it and everything. So we're just going to do a light burn on it, nothing heavy duty. So let me shoot you down here. Like I said, I didn't want to burn it too much. I just want to get it charred a little bit, and then what we'll do is I'm going to actually go ahead, and I've never done this either before. I'm going to go ahead and just put a seal coat, a clear coat on it. So hang on, let me grab some clear coat. So I'm going to take some of this, hang on, this stuff. I'm not going to tell you the brand because they're not paying me. Make sure it's cleared off. What this does is it kind of locks in all the burnt stuff. And being warm, it's going to dry really quick. Probably ain't the safest thing to be doing, but there's... Alright. So we're going to sit here and let this dry. I'm going to go over to the... Hang on. Going to go on over to the Carve, and we'll pull up my design. And then we'll talk about it for a minute, and then we'll get this mounted on the Carve and start carving it out. I think it's going to look pretty neat that we don't have to do any kind of, hopefully we don't have to do hardly any sanding or touch-up or anything. So let's go find out, and we'll see. Let's go over to the computer.
People always complain because I don't show how I mount my boards down. This board's got a little bit of wiggle. Once we push it down, it'll be fine. So this here, I think the reds will be good enough. Let me see if I got the right. I do. I'm going to need some of these. Some of these gear knobs. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll use 4 of these on this. And what we'll do, we'll take it. Drop one of these in like so. Alright, what we're doing is we're lining up the edges. So I'm lined up, hang on, I'm lined up this way, and I'm lined up this way. So let's put one over here so it doesn't move on us. Same way with this other corner. Take the red one, put it in the hole, get it started. Put it on the clamp. And what I like to do, which makes it a little quicker, is use these. A little quicker than doing it by hand. Sorry, I'm getting shot here. Alright, last one over here. Let's see, it's not going anywhere. Alright. Boom. Not going anywhere. So, let's go over to our,
What we need to do is put our dimensions of our board in, which I've already done ahead of time to save some time. So the X is the width of the board, which is 18 inches, 0.25, so 18 and a quarter. The Y-axis, which is the width of the board, is 11.25, 11 and a quarter. And the thickness of the board is 0.650, like at 5/8. So what we want to do now is we want to come over here. We want to, that's our design. I just brought it in. And then we want to hit edit, center to the material. Alright, and I want to go to this corner and I want to pull it. And then I'm going to hit edit again. Center to the material. I still want it to be a little bit bigger. I'm going to try and fill the board as much as we can. You can use these up here, but I like to just use this. It's quicker. So I think I'm going to pull it just a little tiny bit. Alright, let's center it to the material again. Okay, so let's come over here. So we can hit shift and we can pull it moving around with our mouse. So let's make this a little bit bigger. And right now I'm using a 60 degree. Let's see if we could use a eighth inch bit and 1/8 inch upcut, and let's see what it looks like. So let's select that. And let's hit this and see what comes up. I got a slow computer, so it's going to take a second. So here's a problem. Let me zoom in the best I can with this junky. Oh, that was zoomed in. So here's the problem right here. My lotus flower is not carving. So if I was to do a 2-bit, I could do that. If I do it with a, let's see what it looks like with a 60 degree V-bit. So generate a preview. So it's generating it again. Takes a second. Alright, so everything is in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit, and I want it to be pretty deep. I want it to be at least a 1/4 inch deep because I just like the way it looks. So let's generate and make sure it looks okay. Make sure we didn't lose any detail of our, and by the looks of it, it looks really good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to hit simulate down here in the corner to see how long it's going to take my machine to do this. So we know we're going a 1/4 inch deep. It's figuring the pass now. It takes a second, and some people with faster computers, it'll go quicker. So I'm actually going to do a couple of these today. I'm going to do one version here, which is the burnt version that we're doing. And the other version I'm going to do is probably a resin version, which I'll be able to sell for a few more bucks at the craft fairs or online, whatever. So it's just about there. We got just a little bit left. And I'm thinking this is probably going to be a 45 minutes to an hour, easily. Oh, 37 minutes, so that's not bad. So we'll be back. I got to put in a 60 degree bit, and then we'll get it all lined up, and I'll show you how we do all that, and we'll be back in a second. Okay, so one more thing I forgot to tell you. We want to make sure that it's centered to the material like we talked about, which it is. And then we want to come over here to this where it says shape on the button here. And what we want to do is we want to click to the center. And what we want to do is we want to come up here and hit 0.0, enter. 0.0, enter. And what that does is this starts this on my board over here. I went and draw the line from one corner to the other and got the center and put my X-Carve on it. So that's what that is. And we're going to use the center mark on our project. So that's where we're coming from. So I just wanted to let you know why I did that. So just took a straight edge and got the center point. And the reason why I didn't write on there, because this is going to be our finished material, and we don't want to put pencil on it because we don't have to sand it off. So now that it's set, I don't even need this. And I just take it off. And I know when I go do my other part here, I'll show you here in a second, and you'll see how we do all the rest of it. So hang on. Actually, we don't need to hang on. We can just go over to it now. So hang on a minute. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we have our material thickness, which we've already done, so we can click that. We know that we have it securely down, so we can click that. So we confirm that we know we're using a 60-degree V-bit, which is what I got right there. Let's go back so we can confirm that. So we're going to use a probe today to probe it. So here's my probe. So let's take it over to here. I'm going to try and do this with one hand, and so we plug it in the side here. We hook this here and lay this up underneath there like that. I hope I got all of that. So then we're going to come over here. We're going to confirm our position, which we did. The clip is attached, which it is. Now we need, it says to check the plate for connectivity. So we're going to come over here, lift this up, check it. It showed us that we had it, put it back down, and touch plate is there. So now we're going to start probing. So we're going to hit the probe button. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do all this. Now it's going to probe it. So it's done probing. So we click this and Z probe is away. Normally you would set your starting point, so we already know we did ours earlier, so I'm not even going to have to move this because it's already set to 0. So what we do is we hit set 0. We're not going to put the thing, so I'm just going to skip this. So spindle is on. So we come over here. Now we hit carve. And if we've done everything right, it should take off and start carving here in a second. Sorry for the shakiness. I'll put it up on a... So right now, the computer is telling the Xbox controller part, which is going to talk to our router. So if we've done everything right, cross your fingers, it should carve right, which I know it will. But I always keep my finger on the stop button once it goes, in case it goes crazy and I forgot to do something. And there we go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up on a tripod and let it go. And you guys can watch it for a little bit, and then we'll come back and we'll finish it at the end. So enjoy. Alright, the sign is done. I'm going to come over here with a round over. We're going to do a round over around it, and we should have her done.